What is going on, guys? Craig 1287 here, bringing you some Battlefield 4 gameplay. Going on there in the background is just going to be a random round. It's actually a loss that we suffered on Paracel Storm. I end up going 50-something and 15, a fairly respectable KD, but it was one of those rounds that even though you lose, it was still really enjoyable. Both teams put up a good fight, but we could tell throughout that we just didn't have some teammates that were really putting up much of an effort alongside ourselves. So, but again, it was one of those rounds that's just enjoyable. So I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay going on there in the background. Now to the main purpose of this video. I don't know why I actually didn't upload this earlier. I participated in this vote a little while back, but DICE put up on their Battlefield blog, and of course, like always, there will be a link in the video description down below. But yeah, DICE on the Battlefield blog put up a kind of a blog asking for the community's input on what they should balance next. It's titled, Tell DICE, What Should We Balance Next? And there are a few questions. There are 5 total questions, and it's pretty cool. I like the way that they're doing this. I hope that this continues, and they continue to come up with some really engaging, thought-provoking balances that they're working on and explain. I think they maybe should do a slightly better job of explaining what the vote that you are putting actually means. Because some of them, they just kind of say like, yeah, we're looking at doing some balancing, and we might go this way. Should we do this? Yes, no. It's like, well, yes, but what exactly is my yes saying that you'll change? So let's get into it. The first question deals with, and this is one that I actually didn't think that the community was all that, I guess you could say, PO'd about. It didn't. I really don't often see the attack boats, the fast attack crafts, being an anti-air. I've used them as anti-air, but you really don't see them being used as it all that often. At least I don't. And the first one is attack boats as air defense. Players have suggested that the attack boats could have superior anti-air capacity or abilities. Possible suggestions include improving the anti-air ability of the burst cannon. I would love this, by the way. Adding a mobile anti-air style 20mm cannon or additional type secondary missiles with anti-aircraft intentions. Is the air defense ability of the attack boat considered a problem? So I like the burst, but it sounds like they would be switching it out. So instead of the burst, it would turn it into what you have as the 20mm on the mobile anti-air. Again, it's not the most clear thing. It says include improving the burst cannon. So are you improving the burst cannon, or are you changing the burst cannon to be like the... I don't know. I mean, is it really burst if it then acts like the mobile anti? I don't know. But currently, the vote is at a 54% to no, which is kind of sad. I'm guessing a lot of the people that like to pilot are voting no. Whether it's for the most part, that's what a lot of these are actually going to be. If you like to use the activity that would be affected negatively by whatever the change is, most people are going to just vote no, whether they think it's balanced that way or not. Any jet pilot is going to vote no for this because that's less effective they are on Paracel Storm or something like that. So it's kind of a bummer there, but it definitely does get to show DICE how many pilots there are out there. I'm sure they know this. They're going to look at this and see like, oh, okay, there's a lot of people that like to fly and don't like getting shot down from it. So, it definitely helps to give them more data either way, whether it's very biased votes or not. The next one, the FGM-148, this is one of the engineer rockets, damage increase against tanks. The FGM-148 seems to be considered the weakest of the anti-tank missiles for the engineer. I'm not going to deny that. We have considered increasing the damage it does from 25% to 34% against tanks, MBTs. I voted yes on this. It definitely needs a buff. They introduced a lot of engineer just in general rocket things. So it definitely helps to have some diversity amongst those. And that currently is sitting at a 77% yes, that sounds like a good idea. So I'm sure that will be happening in a upcoming patch. The next one is stealth jet cannon tweaks. Now, in one of their most recent patches, they did a lot of changes with the jets, attack jets, and stealth jets. They increased stealth jet damage, decreased attack jet damage. They also did some balancing with their flight capacity, their abilities to turn, and things like that. So the stealth jet apparently went a little too far. They say, after the most recent update, players are reporting the stealth jet 20mm cannons are now slightly overpowered. Is this a universal feeling? There's also been concern about the 25mm and 30mm not receiving any changes. Are changes here desirable? It is currently sitting at a 58% yes, the changes are desirable. I have noticed that the stealth jets have done a lot more killing against me than before, so I also voted for yes on that. But that's a pretty close match, so that might see a very minor nerf, but probably a nerf in the future. The next question is dealing again with the fast attack craft. We are considering some minor changes to fast attack craft cannons, reducing the splash damage area against infantry, requiring the player to hit closer to the target to get quick kills, and increasing the speed and direct damage of the burst cannon to aid in hitting aircraft. No changes are being considered for the 30mm cannon. So I actually would like this a lot more than what they said earlier, because I love the burst cannon, and I like things that benefit players with good accuracy and leading of their targets. Increasing the speed, the projectile, would help to hit those targets, and direct damage buff with a splash damage nerf sounds amazing to me, because I love that gun. And thankfully 63% are voting sounds good. I'm hoping you guys agree and vote for that, because that would be awesome. That's one of those things that favors skill and slightly more punishes just luck and spam. And final question is dealing with the MBTs and the IFVs and their canister shells, which were huge in BF3. So what they state is canister shells on MBT and IFVs, the APCs, seem less popular than BF3 and could possibly use a buff. For the MBT canister round, an increase in accuracy and damage, while for the IFV, a slight increase in damage, are both being considered. Finally, an increase in the projectile speed to enable them to more easily hit moving targets. I don't think the projectile speed buff is that needed. I think it's mostly just comes into the reload times. People don't like to have to wait for the two. But hey, I could be wrong. Either way, basically they're sitting at an 85% yes buff. So that's probably going to happen. You might see, I really don't think, even if they do buff those things, that you'll see that much an increase in canister shell usage. But who knows? You might. So what do you guys think? If you want to share your voting results down below, if you disagree with what the community is mostly voting towards, voice your opinions down below. I'm always interested to see what my subscribers are into and what you guys want to see. I'm always looking to find a good balance for vehicle gameplay, air gameplay, boat gameplay, infantry gameplay. Always looking to see what the balance is there. So if you guys wouldn't mind sharing that stuff down below, PM me if you don't want your voice to be public amongst everybody else. Perfectly understandable. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and voice your opinions and keep an eye out. I'll keep you guys posted if they do these again to voice your opinions again. Have a good one. Ta-ta.